Good morning, students. Welcome all of you in our English class. Today we are going to discuss the poem that is going on, Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. First stanza we have already completed. So now let's get started with the second stanza of the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tiger by Adrienne Rich. Here in this stanza and in the stanza that is to be followed, the third stanza, here aunt feel so much enslaved in her married life that her misery will continue after her death. In these two stanza, this is the essence. Means here the poet, in this poem, the poet talks about a woman experience in married life, and the poet has tried to explore the inner feeling of a woman who is living in male dominated society. Every woman wants to live free and fearless life, but her life is governed by male. Here, as a symbol, uncle is presented here in this stanza. But generally, this is just symbol. Every woman, means most of the women, they have to get permission. They are not independent, they are maybe dependent on the father, on brother, on the sons, or depend on the husband. So in this way, here just a picture of aunt is presented, because aunt's life that is governed only by uncle, means man. And the poem 1951 it was written. So the condition of woman that time prevailed in the society, it's presented. Until date, the picture is not improved much. Let's start. Aunt Jennifer's finger fluttering through her wool. Aunt Jennifer is embroidering tigers, and while embroidering the tiger, her fingers, they are fluttering, they are moving, they are trembling, they are shaking through her wool, means on the panel. This is a panel, and this panel holds a piece of cloth, and on that piece of cloth embroidery work is done. And when she's doing this wool work, that time her fingers, so they flutter, and she finds even the ivory needle that is made of ivory, means tusk, the teeth of elephant. So that very lightweight needle, that is very hard to pull. When she is doing embroidery work and she is pulling the needle, and needle is that has much lighter weight, but still she finds, Aunt Jennifer finds very heavy to pull it. Why? I will explain it after reading the next couplet. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band. Here, wedding band is not just a ring or not a band, not materialistic or literally the weight of band, it may be some grams. But here, the massive word that has been used here, exaggerate, that has been done here, exaggeration you may say, the massive weight of uncle's wedding band. So here wedding band means married life. Wedding band here is a symbol of married life, and that sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. In hand of Aunt Jennifer, so this band, married band, so it sits heavily, means she is bound to follow her husband. Her fingers are trembling. So her finger, why the fingers are trembling? Her fingers are trembling with the fear of her husband, because she is doing the embroidery work and this is her hobby. And probably the poet feels, here the poet has presented Aunt Jennifer, and the poet feels that Aunt Jennifer's husband wouldn't be pleased to see doing this type of job. It means a woman has to do work according to the pleasure of her husband. So if her husband is not pleased, how beautification is done no matter, but if husband is not pleased, so this work is futile. So maybe, probably the poet thinks that her husband wouldn't be pleased to see her work doing this, to follow this hobby, and her husband might scold her. That's why her fingers are trembling. And she says that her fingers are, that the Aunt Jennifer's fingers, so they are so tired of working endlessly. Means one thing is that if she, out of fear, her finger may tremble, the one final answer is not there. And the second thing is there, that she has been doing this work through years, and her fingers, they are so tired of working endlessly all her life, and she has been fulfilling the obligation of her married life, and she is tired because she is following her husband, and that's why she finds even ivory needle hard to pull. So it may be out of overstraining, out of overwork, overburden, workload that is put on her shoulder by her husband, and maybe her hobby that is not liked by her husband. So that's why she is feeling very much tired, and maybe out of tiredness, maybe out of uh, the thinking of somebody that does not like her contribution, her work, her hobby. So all these things, so they are liable for the fingers to be trembled. Next, when aunt is dead. Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still, ringed with ordeals. Ringed. Ringed here means circled. Circled means surrounded with ordeals. Ordeals means difficulties, miserable life, miseries. So her ordeal, her difficulties, so it may be there after her death. So when aunt is dead, her terrified hands. So here, what is terrified hands here? Terrified hand here means, this is called transferred epithet, the figure of speech. We discussed in last video the figure of speech, that is alliteration. Very simple, and it's also simple. Terrified hands. Actually, hands, they are not terrified. The terror is in the Aunt Jennifer. So Aunt Jennifer is terrified, but that terror, that is transferred from aunt to her hands. So that's why this is called transferred epithet. So transferred epithet is that figure of speech when something is done to a noun or to a person, so that is transferred. So hands, so they are not terrified. Who is actually terrified here? Aunt Jennifer, she is terrified, but here the poet has used terrified hands because the movement, the shaking, the fluttering of hands or finger it indicates the terror. So this is just the indicator. But here, as we say that the figure of speech that has been used here, this is transferred epithet. Next, the tiger in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So here her life is full of worry, full of fear, full of misery. But on the other hand, she has created tigers. Those creation, those creativity, those product, so they will keep on moving, they will keep on prancing forever. Forever because they are in the painting. So art never dies. But on the other hand, art, it has no life. But whether it's living or non-living or lifeless object, no matter. Actually, this is the tigers, they are product of Aunt Jennifer. And her life is full of difficulties. Her life is under the supervision, under the guidance, under the monitoring of her husband. But the tiger that she made, that she designed, that she portrayed, that she embroidered, so they are fearless. So they do not have any fear beneath them. And in the first stanza it's written, so they do not fear the men beneath the tree. So under the tree some men are there. So Aunt Jennifer or other women like Aunt Jennifer, so they are afraid of men because they are living in man dominated society, patriarchal society. But the tiger that she made, so they will keep on prancing. It means, let me repeatedly say that every woman, she has intense desire to live strong, free and fearless life. But she cannot do in the male dominated society. But here, if she has created something marvelous, she has done something that is out of box, and it can only remain, means her desire, her intense desire, innermost desire, her desire can remain alive in the life of a tiger or in the life of any creativity which she makes. In this way, her terror suffer, and she can fulfill her dream in that creation that she has made. On the other hand, if we go through the general idea, so that every great person, philosopher, psychologist, painter, or any type of scientist, means anybody who has been great and who will be great. So that is product of a woman. But the same woman, she is under the suppress, under the supervision, under the guidance of a man. How much strong a man is, but the man that is product of a woman. So it means how timid or cowed down a personality a woman has, but that woman is great creator. It's not wrong if somebody says so that she is the biggest creator after God. So God has created the entire universe, but woman, she has created the great personalities, great scholars, great person, great warriors, knights, and so many other people, those who have contributed to the society. So they are product of woman. But the same woman who is so much powerful to give birth to such a strange creation, she has to live under the dominance of a man. So I will upload some question answers and hope you will do it. Thanks a lot.